Hi, I'm Mark Mazzaferro, Public Information Officer for the City of Vacaville, and this is another episode of Word on the Street. As you probably know, we've been highlighting various departments within the Vacaville PD, and today is one of the more special departments, in my humble opinion. It's the Volunteers in Police Service, and with us to tell us about this great service that these folks provide is their fearless leader, Susanne Johnson. Susanne, thank you for taking a little time out of your day to tell us about the great folks who are VIPs here at the police department.
Thank you, and welcome over here to the police department. We have a program called Volunteers in Police Service. Of course, we call them VIPs, and it is a group of people. We have students who are volunteers that would like to go into law enforcement. There are stay-at-home people who would just want something of value in their life, so they come out and help with the community. And then we also have our retired professionals, different backgrounds, and they all come so that they don't become a couch potato.
Nobody wants to be a couch potato. Okay, I'm a professional, but that's another story for another episode. So what does it take to be a VIP? How do you do it?
Well, you just have to have a desire to come and serve. There's probably 26 or so different areas of service our volunteers help in with different levels of ability as far as computer in different areas. So today I hope we can kind of show you some of those areas that we have.
And how many volunteers do you have working for you right now?
Right now we have 65.
Wow. So, and they do a lot of duties that helps keep our police officers out on the street and keeping us safe. I mean, explain to me exactly the importance, I guess, of what the VIPs do.
The volunteers do a lot of things that are clerical. They'll enter a lot of data into the database that has to be there. Every report that's written goes through many people's hands. So there's a lot of busy work that's done at the police department that volunteers assist with.
But they're not like out there arresting people or anything, are they?
Well, the closest thing we have outdoors is our parking enforcement team, and they're out there writing parking citations. I'm sure we're getting yays out there.
Everybody loves those people, huh?
Yes. So there's a variety of different things they do out in the field.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, why don't you take us around and introduce us to some of your volunteers and have them tell us what they do as VIPs for the police department, all right?
Wonderful, let's go. I'd like you to meet Dorothy Aschenbrenner. She's one of our lead volunteers who works in several areas within the police department. She works in training, helping with clerical, and live scan, which is our fingerprinting for the public. And right now she's going to show us an area called Patrol Assistant. We call them PAs. You want to tell us about that, Dorothy?
I'd be happy to, Suzanne. What we do down here in patrol is to help assist the officers, and we want them on the street. So we take care of keeping the forms stocked for them. We keep their writing stations neat and tidy, and we'll show you that later. We take care of the jail and do all the ordering of supplies that they need. We also take care of be on the lookouts. So those are the daily posters that we post on the board so that the officers can be aware of what's happening in the city and keep our streets safe for us.
Excellent. Well, let's go over to the jail and see what you do over there, because it's always fun to go to jail. Let's go.
Okay.
Well, Dorothy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do in here?
Well, we make sure that the cells are neat and tidy so that if an officer brings in a suspect, they can put him in the cell without any issues. We also take care of forms that the officers need here for booking, etc. We have these cells for the adults. Around the corner is one for a juvenile because they have to be separate from adults in the facility.
There you go. And everyone, you hear this a lot. We're gonna make this sound for you. This is what it sounds like when you're locked in jail. You're not gonna go in.
I need a key to get myself out. Let's put you in, Suzanne.
That sounds pretty scary. All right. Let's go upstairs and look what's going on in the live scan.
Perfect.
Dorothy, why don't you tell us what they're doing here in the live scan room?
This is where we do fingerprinting of the general public. They may need it for a job or getting a renewal license for real estate or dental hygienist of that kind of nature. So they come in here to our department, we enter in information into the system, and we print each one of their fingers. It gets sent automatically to the Department of Insurance and or to the FBI. Here's a demonstration of what we do in the fingerprint. Anthony would be entering data into the system on the keyboard, and then the time comes, the screen rolls forward, and we actually are given cues to print the fingers. So Anthony, go ahead and let's do her thumbs first. And then we do the 4 slaps. We do that on both hands. And then we do each individual digit, and they get rolled flat across the screen. Once that's all complete, we have green lights up here, and that's the go for us to finish and send it off.
Dorothy, that was very interesting. Thank you very much. We appreciate you showing us around.
You're welcome.
We'll see you later. We're going to step over to crime analysis and take a look at one of our volunteers who does data entry. This is Gail Clapp, and she does data entry for crime analysis. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Gail?
Good morning, Suzanne. I've been working in crime analysis for 3 years, and my primary job, of course, is data entry. We put in all of the pawn tickets that come into the thing, traffic tickets, field interviews that every policeman does when they stop somebody, traffic citations, both moving and parking citations.
And how is that information utilized by the department?
Actually, this provides a whole database for the police officers to use in backing up data that they have, or to help them remember or see what's been going on. We also highlight gang members off of any of the field interviews that we do.
Very nice. And I heard that it's been done before when you were entering pawn slip tickets, that there have been stolen merchandise located just from entering that into the system. Have you ever took part in that?
Yes, actually, about 6 months ago, I had a pawn ticket, and one of the police officers came looking for specific items, and luckily I had just put that stuff in the computer.
Excellent. That's very good. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Sure, thanks.
Well, that's a lot of things, Mark, that we do on the inside of the department. Why don't we go outside and I'll show you some things the volunteers do out on the street. This is Ray Benjamin. We're heading out to see a team in action doing parking enforcement. Ray, why don't you tell us about the parking enforcement team?
Parking enforcement was out as a team of 2 people. They check out an electric vehicle. We write citations for handicap parking, expired tags, fire hydrant violations, and we have a team right now writing up a vehicle for handicap parking violation.
Your people do a lot of things out on the street, so how are they trained for this?
We train the people approximately 40 hours out on the street writing citations of all kinds. Now, if for some reason we have never come across a violation that we can write, we simulate it. They must pass about a 2-hour written exam before they can go out on the street and write citations.
Now that's kind of scary.
It scares every one of them. I haven't had one fail yet.
We have multiple teams that go out into the streets of Vacaville, and one of them is the Senior Wellness Check program. All these programs, they must go in teams of 2. We have 2 volunteers that go out together. Here is James Lee, and he is part of the Senior Wellness. Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure, Suzanne, I'd be glad to. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and it's a really great program. We go around the city and visit seniors that are up in years, maybe home alone, and we help them to maintain their independence as long as possible. And we alert the higher, echelon, the officers or the person that's needed to know if there's a situation involved.
Yeah, I've heard that there's been several situations over the year where elder abuse has been stopped and interrupted in progress. So it's a great program that helps protect our seniors. And elder abuse, and even ones that have fallen down for 9 hours, 15 hours, they've been found. It saved their life. So it's a very valuable program. Thank you, James. You have something else to say?
Also, there's one other facet of our job, and that's vacation checks. If you're going home away for a week and leaving your home unattended, we will come out and make sure the doors are still secure and the windows are all latched properly. And a lot of people, they're in a hurry to get away on vacation and they forget to do something, and we double check that for anyone that calls in.
With the wide variety of jobs that volunteers do, we have jobs that are available to work even at nighttime. There are some even 24/7 hours, like our patrol assistant. But our night team, they go out on patrol and look for street lights that are out and report them to Public Works. It's very helpful for Public Works as their normal business hours are during the daytime. So volunteers will tag the poles with a ribbon and write the pole numbers down and report those. In addition, the volunteers also are eyes and ears at night. It's a good time to keep their eyes out for suspicious activity, as they're all over on every single street in the city. Like many of you, we take great pride in Vacaville, and one of the wonderful programs we have is the graffiti abatement team. So this is Julie. Why don't you tell us about the program?
I have a team of 5 members plus myself. We go out on patrol looking for graffiti 2 to 5 days a week. We drive around town for about 3 hours taking photographs of the graffiti sites. Graffiti is a crime and it's vandalism. We then write a report on each picture we've taken, and we submit our report to the code compliance office. They in turn turn it over to the owner, who is responsible for cleaning it up. We also submit reports to the police department. We want graffiti cleaned up as soon as possible.
Wonderful, wonderful. So they make police reports for the graffiti and also generate the cleanup. That's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Suzanne, that was fantastic. Your folks do a lot of good work out there for our community, don't they?
Yes, they do. Thank you. And there's a lot more jobs that they do, and everyone can go online and see a full list and descriptions of different jobs.
Now, let's say there's someone watching this program and they say, doggone it, I want to help out. I want to be a VIP. What do they do?
I'm glad you asked. We are going to start recruitment over the summer. They can go online on the cityofvacaville.com, go over to the police tab and download the application. There's also other information online there. Or you can come into the police lobby and pick up a flyer here. Also, July 15th, we will be having an information meeting for those who just want more information and come and get to know us a little better. Just show up at 10 o'clock, July 15th.
And where's that going to be? Here at the PD?
Here at the police department, upstairs, right off the lobby.
Well, again, thank you for all of your hard work in organizing these folks, and thank you, and be sure to thank them for all the work they do in our community. I heard somewhere they put in between 18 and 20,000 hours a year in volunteer service.
That's right. They're a marvelous bunch, and I look forward to meeting more citizens that would like to come and take part. Thank you.
So if you're out there and you see a volunteer in police service and they're wearing one of those blue shirts, you be sure to thank them. And I want to thank you all for watching this episode of Word on the Street.